A long-awaited sex abuse trial of R&B sensation R. Kelly. On day one of his New York trial, the prosecution called the singer a predator who lured girls, boys, and women with his fame and then dominated them physically, sexually, and psychologically. We'll hear more about what happened in court, but first, here's ABC's Janai Norman on what led up to today's dramatic testimony.
Once the self-proclaimed king of R&B, superstar R. Kelly, now called the mastermind behind a criminal enterprise in this Brooklyn federal courtroom where opening statements began in the sex abuse case against him. Kelly appearing stoic, occasionally whispering to his lawyer, the mood in the courtroom solemn. Court documents allege Kelly used his fame to recruit women and girls to engage in illegal sexual activity, some minors at the time of the alleged abuse. The prosecution vividly describing what they say the alleged victims endured, including claims of getting herpes from Kelly and countering the defense's argument that the women were just groupies. Kelly, who was indicted back in 2019, is facing 1 count of racketeering and 4 counts of violating the Mann Act.
The state is saying that he transported them across state lines in order to commit sexual acts with them, which would be illegal. The racketeering comes in because it pulls all this together. And it also allows for instances that otherwise wouldn't have made it into this trial can now be used in this trial.
If convicted on all counts, R. Kelly faces 10 years to life in prison. He's pleaded not guilty. Still, a dizzying fall from grace. I believe I can fly. For the Grammy Award winner who reigned on top of the charts for inspirational hits like I Believe I Can Fly and party favorites like Ignition Remix. But R. Kelly is no stranger to controversy. In 1994, he married singer Aaliyah, just 15 years old at the time. Kelly was 27.
His brand and his star was so much bigger than any of the headlines that was coming across. And I think we just, foolish on us, shame on us, look the other way, kind of brushed it under the rug.
Their marriage annulled less than a year later. Allegations of sexual abuse following Kelly for years, with some claims settling out of court. In 2002, Kelly was charged with child pornography, allegedly seen in a sex tape with an underage girl. He was acquitted of the charges in 2008. All the while, the singer still climbing the charts.
It became like this really unfortunate, tragic way of looking at child pornography in ways that we should have never allowed that to happen. Instead of, did you see it? It should have been, how could he have done that?
But things began to unravel for Kelly in 2017 with a news report claiming to blow the lid off a so-called cult run by the artist, according to parents and a former associate who were interviewed. The article in BuzzFeed alleging that Kelly had 6 women under his control and that, quote, he controls every aspect of their lives, dictating what they eat, how they dress, when they bathe, when they sleep, and how they engage in sexual encounters that he records. That bombshell lighting a firestorm in the era of the Me Too movement. Soon, the hashtag Mute R. Kelly was created, calling for fans to boycott his music. Black Girls Matter! And activists demanding deeper investigation into the singer. Then, in 2019, Lifetime releasing a damaging raw docuseries, Surviving R. Kelly.
I'm sorry.
Featuring his alleged victims, including his ex-wife, Drea Kelly.
We had, for the first time, the ability to see all of his victims essentially lined up, episode after episode, scene after scene. You could not but be affected by that.
A month later, Kelly was charged in Chicago with 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse.
You see R. Kelly get charged, and you see him walk in handcuffs. That was shocking to me because we were, for the first time, seeing these women's stories be validated.
He was later indicted in federal court in New York, where he now stands trial.
The prosecution is really going to be looking to show that these are not isolated events. It's not one woman, and that they were not free to leave.
We're going to straighten all this stuff out.
Kelly has fiercely denied all charges against him, including in this explosive interview with CBS News back in March of 2019.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
When we look at his defense, we're going to see a lot of information about the fact that he was a highly well-known, sought-after celebrity. So bodyguards are not unusual. And having bodyguards, escort his latest paramour to a room isn't unusual. She wasn't being held captive. She wanted to stay. So we're going to see a lot of that being broken down very specifically.
But regardless of the outcome, the singer's legacy forever tainted by the disturbing and graphic allegations depicting him as a serial sexual predator.
I think his legacy is going to be more so the absence of R. Kelly, right? And the ability for us not to push play. And I think that is a victory for his victims, that they essentially have stopped the music.
Janai Norman, ABC News, New York.
Our thanks to Janai for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.